The Targaryen fortress of Dragonstone, located on the border of Blackwater Bay and the Narrow Sea, was already a century old when news arrived of a doom that destroyed the Balerion freehold. The next 100 years after the doom were known as the Century of Blood, as the many colonies and territories of the Balerion freehold were consumed by chaos. During these bleeding years, the territories of Essos were reformed, shaped by new conquests and the ever-growing power of the Dothraki Khalizars. While Essos was experiencing a complete change in power, the Targaryens of Dragonstone were deciding between conquering the free cities and reclaiming the lost territories of the Valyrians, or unifying the kingdoms of Westeros under their rule. Because the Targaryens did not have that much manpower, their main power would come from their dragons. After deciding to take Westeros, Aegon had a huge painted table constructed at Dragonstone, which doubled as a very large and accurate map of Westeros. While some say that Aegon had never actually been to Westeros before, others tell of his travels to the Arbor, the Citadel, and Lannisters ports. At the time, the Ironborn and the Rivermen were ruled by House Hoare. Their king was Harrenhal, the king of the islands and the rivers. King Harrenhal, also known as King Harren the Black, had almost completed his grand castle, which was called Harrenhal. He had conquered many lands and was seeking more. Storm King Argyllech Durrandon, ruler of the Stormlands, had grown fearful of Harren the Black and offered an alliance with Aegon Targaryen. Argyllech offered Aegon the hand of his daughter, Argylla, and many lands which were occupied by Harren's armies. Aegon did not accept the proposal, and offered his bastard brother, Aurys, also his best friend, to take Argylla instead. However, King Argyllech took this offering as an insult, and had the envoy's hands removed, sending them back to Aegon with a message reading, "These are the only hands you will ever receive." This act pushed Aegon to call his banners. On Dragonstone, Aegon Targaryen, his sisters, and his bannermen decided the fate of Westeros. Ravens were sent to every ruler in the Seven Kingdoms, informing them that Aegon would be the only king in Westeros. The rulers which bent the knee would keep their titles and lands, and those that did not would be crushed. The Cold North was ruled by King Torrhen Stark, while Rhaenys Iron and his mother Shara ruled the Mountains of the Moon. In the west, Loren Lannister ruled from Casterly Rock, and in the Reach ruled Mern Gardener, ninth of his name. Storm King Argyllech Durrandon, who most would call Argyllech the Arrogant, ruled the Stormlands, while Maester Atale, the Yellow Toad, and Princes of Dorne ruled from Sunspear. Both the Vale and Dorne offered to ally with Aegon under the terms that they would not submit. Their offers were rejected, and the armies of Dragonstone made their ships ready. 2 years BC, short for before the conquest, Aegon Targaryen and his 2 sister wives, Rhaenys and Visenya, landed at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush. With them, they brought their army of 1,600 men. Here, they found 3 tall hills. On the tallest of the hills, Aegon ordered construction of the Aegonfort, from where he would start his claim on the westerosi mainland. At this time, the Targaryens only had 3 houses sworn to them. They were the Valerians, the Celticars, and the Meraxes. Rhaenys traveled to Castle Rosby, which was the first to yield to the Targaryens. However, when Visenya mounted Vhagar and traveled to Stokeworth, they did not yield, and Visenya had Vhagar burn the roof of Stokeworth Keep before they surrendered the castle. Hearing of Rosby's and Stokeworth's fall, Lord Darklyn of Darskendale and Lord Mooten of Maidenpool joined their armies and marched south with 3,000 men. When Aegon heard of this, he had Aurys Baratheon take the Targaryen army to meet them, while he himself flew on Balerion the Black Tread. As Aurys Baratheon led the Targaryen men into battle, Aegon, mounted on Balerion, descended from the skies to spew fire upon the enemy armies. Both Lord Darklyn and Lord Mooten were killed in the battle, and their heirs surrendered to Aegon, offering their swords to House Targaryen. After this victory, Queen Visenya crowned King Aegon, first of his name, King of Westeros and the shield of his people. King Aegon gave Daemon Balerion command of the royal fleet and had him sail to Ghoultown, accompanied by Visenya mounted on Vhagar. When the King of the Vale heard of this, he had the Iron Fleet assemble and be joined by many westerosi warships. The fleet of the Vale met the Targaryen fleet in a fierce battle and managed to destroy the royal fleet, killing Daemon Balerion. Visenya then had Vhagar rain fire upon the Iron Fleet, burning their ships. With the Vale no longer having a fleet, the people of the Sisters rebelled, declaring Marla Sunderland as their own queen. While Visenya was in the Vale, Aegon was marching his army north to the nearly completed Harrenhal. House Hoare managed to attack Aegon's forces at the Battle of Arryns, which turned out to be a Targaryen victory. But at the Wailing Willows, two of Harren's sons crossed in their longboats and attacked the Targaryen army in the rear, killing much of his forces. But their victory was short-lived, as Aegon mounted Balerion and caught up to the Hoare longships, burning them and sending them and Harren's sons to the bottom of the God's Eye.